$1 bill, yes I believe I surely will. Go to town, drink my fill early in the morning. Whiskey be my dying bed, show me where to lay my head. Not with me is all she said early in the morning. Mike's music method. In this video, I'm going to bring you excitement. We're going to learn Townsman Zandt Dollar Bill Blues from the Flying Shoes record. It's not too hard. So I've done a lot of hard Travis picking, finger picking videos recently. This one's manageable. We're going to use a flat pick, a regular old pick, just a pick. You don't need your fingers. You're going to do good. And it's hard, but even if you play it slow, it's a lot of fun. And I break down some really basic kind of flat picking concepts. So if you're, a beginner player, maybe slightly beyond beginner, got to know your chord shapes, how to hold a pick, right? If you don't know how to hold a pick, you should probably figure that out first. But this is doable. So Cliff, this one's for you. Anybody else who's just like, oh, what have you been posting, Mike? Craig, this one's for you too. It's a great song to learn. So we're going to dive in and let's just do it. This is a great tune. I recorded it last night and then I woke up this morning being like, man, am I going to have to redo the whole thing? But I was a little sleepy. I had a big stuffy nose, but I did my crazy. I snorted some xylitol and iodine and sea salt. I highly recommend it if you got a stuffy nose. Look, I sound good today. I sound okay. Well, I'm still a little stuffed up, but yesterday was bad. So go snort your warm bowl of xylitol and sea salt and iodine. But anyways, let's do it. It's a fun song. We're going to learn it together. You're going to impress your girlfriend or your wife or nobody. You can pat your own back when you get it done, but you're going to do it. So let's do it. So you got your flat pick, capo 2, and let's dive in. We're going to learn together because I don't use these anymore. I'm finger picking all the time, so I am going to be ridiculously rusty. So I'll relearn as you learn. We just the chords are really simple. It's going to be A minor, D minor, E minor. That's it. So a regular A minor chord. And what you're doing is you're hammering on from open on the 3rd string to 2, right? So we're going to have that sound with our ring finger, but we got to do it while holding down the chord. So we hit that hammer, and then we're going to strum. We're really only going to strum the top 3 strings. So if that's a new idea, only strumming a few of them, practice that, going down and up. If you hit the 4th one occasionally, not the end of the world, but we're really just aiming for the top 3. And experiment with how tight you're holding the pick, right? I think the amateur mistake is to squeeze way too hard. Right? You get a really terribly harsh sound. So the way I'm thinking about this is it's pretty loose in my hands, right? Just using 2 fingers. We don't need to go into a whole pick explanation here, but just remember to keep it pretty loose. It's more like you're a painter, right? You're Monet or I don't know, Caravaggio is more my style. Got a really gentle up down. Let me give you the rhythm here. So we have a hammer, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. That's it. So hammer, down, up, 1, down, up, 2, down, up, 3, down, up. Hammer, down, up, 2, down, up, 3, down, up, 4, down, up. I'm sorry, I counted numbers different that time, but you get the idea. Hammer, down, up, 2, down, up, 3, down, up, 4, down, up. And it does that twice. So go slow. Make sure here you're not really looking for speed. You're really looking for a clean tone. Because the only way you're going to get to speed is if you have that really nice, very clean tone. You're not hitting it too hard, getting it too twangy. You want that quick but light, airy kind of feel. But now it gets fun. Let's do it. First measure of this cool part. Pretty similar. We got the hammer on, open the 2 on the 3rd string, down, up, and then we're just hitting the 3rd string again, down, up. So we got that hammer on the 3rd, down, up, 3rd, Second time we don't hammer, right? Hammer, down, up, third string again, down, up. Now we've got a cool run. I'm pulling off the third string, 2 to open. Then on the fourth string, I'm doing 2 open on the fourth. So pull off on the third string, 2 O. Then the fourth string, 2 O. And that's a rhythm, 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. And I'm using the same finger, right? Middle finger. Then after I hit that open on the fourth string, I'm strumming down, up on a D minor chord. You know, I use my pinky just because my pinky is like ridiculously strong and handsome, so I tend to favor it. But if you want to use your ring finger, because you're lame and weak, that's okay. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. No, but for real, the ring finger's fine. It doesn't really matter. I'm just used to doing that. So let's do that little run. We pull off first. Open D, down, up. And we're just going to roll into the next measure because it feels more natural. Then it's a fifth string open, down, up, still on a D minor. So that little pattern after the fill is just fourth, down, up, fifth, down, up. And again, I'm really only aiming to hit the top 3 strings, maybe 4. Don't have to be super accurate, but you don't want to hit that and just strum all of them, right? That does not sound good. So really slow there, 3, 4. And then we've got a cool little fill. Let's just keep rolling with it. So we got the fourth string open, and then we hammer on the fourth string to 2. And this is a little weird. It took me a while to listen in and figure this one out, but we got, and then we play the 2 again, and then open on the third string. And that's all pretty quick tempo except the first one. And then I'm doing the 3rd fret on the 5th string, and then open on the 5th string. So 3, 4. It's kind of weird to get the 2 2s in a row. And here, if you're a beginner, even if you're not, I'm kind of steamrolling through this. But the way you're picking your right hand is really important, right? We have alternate picking. So you're either going down, right? That way's down, or you're going up, right? So what I'm doing here is the general rule of thumb for alternate picking. I'm gonna do my contortionist trick here again. Is on the downbeat, you're picking down, and on the upbeat, you're picking up. Right? If you've ever done a strum pattern, right? Down, 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 up, down, up. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and, right? The downbeats are down, and the upbeats you're playing up. So the same thing happens when you're doing single line stuff, right? If I'm doing a lead, I'm just playing a random melody, but down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. So if the rhythm is on the quarter note, then I'm just playing down. But if it gets quicker, that's when I play the ups. So you're not always alternating, but you're alternating on 8th notes. So maybe confusing. So if you're having trouble with that run, this is the hardest one. We got down, down, because it's a hammer. Then I'm doing down, up, because that part's quicker, right? Down, down, with the hammer. Down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. So it's that cross picking there, right? Down, up, down. I'll exaggerate. Down, up, down. But of course, you want economy of motion. Down, down. If that's a new idea, take it slow and practice that part real cool. Let's put it all together before we move on, though. All right, here's from measure 5, 3, 4. You got it. So the picking's all downs, with the exception of the strum part. down, up. And then that one fill that we talked about, down, 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 up, down, down. Make sure, don't rush through it. Make sure you got that down, up right. It's going to make your life a lot easier than, right? Again, I'll say it again. I'll say it 1,000 times. Don't practice mistakes. So make sure you've got that pattern set in the right way so you're not learning it the wrong way. You don't want to dig a ditch, only to have to refill the ditch to go dig another one. Don't do it to yourself. I don't want to see you do it to yourself. No one watching right now wants to see you do that to yourself. I have the most ridiculous stuffy nose right now. Mike's nasally music method. So we did the cool run. And then when we hit the open on the 5th string, we're right back in an A minor. And it's just 5th string, down, up, 4th string, down, up, 5th string, down, up. Right, so that was it. 5, 4, 5. Then a little run, that's easy. 2nd fret on the 5th string, 3rd fret on the 6th string, so kind of implying like a G chord. And then to an E minor, so 6th string, down, up. Hold down E minor there, I was just kind of showing you what I was strumming, just the top 3, right? But we got that 6, down, up on the top 3, 4th, down, up, same fill. But instead of ending on the open on the 6th string, we end open on the 5th. So from that A minor, 5, down, up, 4, down, up, 5, down, up, 2, 3, E minor, 4th string, down, down, open on A, 5th string. Let's do this part, pretty easy. It's an A minor, 5th string, down, up, then I'm hammering on the 4th. So that's the middle finger now, right? Not the 3rd like we did in the intro, but a hammer on the 4th. Does it again, 5th, down, up, hammer on the 4th, down, up. Right hammer is open too. And guess what, guys? Let me scroll down in the tab. We're victorious already. That's it. It's just stupidly fast and really fluent. But it's okay. So here's the trick with practicing to speed. Don't use a metronome. Metronomes are super annoying. Go to YouTube. So there's these things you can type in, DuckDuckGo, your preferred search engine, right? Right? It should be. Bookmark it. Set it as your default. So DuckDuckGo, just put in tempo tap. 8 Notes has one. There's a bunch. And you'll go to the website and just hit your space bar to like a tempo that you think, maybe it's this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, dun, dun, dun. And you'll find out whatever that is. And let's say that's 100 beats per minute, right? Then you'll go to YouTube and put in 100 beat per minute drum beat. And they'll usually say like straight drum beat, but you want a simple drum beat. The reason I always recommend people play with a drum beat is because metronomes, it's easier to get lost. They're not as fun, but a drum beat gives you groove. Even if it's the incorrect groove for the song that you're doing, at least it's a real life application of rhythm. Like sometimes a metronome, especially with kids, it's just so robotic that it's hard to play with feel to a metronome. And I think practicing to a metronome, like when are you ever playing in reality to a metronome? You're not, right? If you're jamming with people, there's a drummer. Even if you're going to record, I would still suggest using a drum track as your metronome instead of a metronome. I still occasionally use a metronome because I grew up using one. Not like really young, but older. It was before I could just click on YouTube and do this. But with a drum beat, you get a groove, you get a feel for the rhythm and what's inside it and which beats are heavy and which ones aren't. And so mess around with different drum tracks. If you're really sophisticated, you could actually take the song, if you have an MP3 file of it, and there's certain programs that will slow the song down. YouTube, you can do it to 0.75 speed, but you can't get any more detailed. There's other programs that do that if you want to get really specific to your tempo. But once you finally get good at that tempo and you can wink to your girlfriend while you're playing it to the tempo, only then bump it up 7 BPM. If you go one by one, you're just going to drive yourself crazy because it's going to take you forever to get it up to speed. But don't really bump ever more than 10. I recommend 7. And then, maybe it takes you a little while to get comfortable there. And then at some point you will hit a wall and it's just going to be hard for you to get fluent on it. And that's fine. So then what you want to do is stick at that tempo and occasionally bump it up, right? Occasionally, maybe you got, and you're looping it there. And then one time you're just going to try, or whatever it is, right? So occasional little speed bursts in there. And maybe you'll make a mistake, but that's fine. Then stop, right? Don't keep repeating the mistake. Maybe do one speed burst, that's it. And then go back to that tempo. That's a little bit of a challenge, but you're mostly getting it 90%. And just hover and do that. But the 7 BPM bump is a great way to practice not only this song and this concept, but just a great general rule of thumb. If you haven't heard of that, write it down. Mark it down. Good? I'm using my hands a lot right now, trying to make up for my nasally voice. All right, let's keep going. The verse is, that's it. We did the whole song, but we're going to simplify the verse here. And Townes doesn't do all the crazy fills. So I simplified it even more. His isn't quite as crazy, but he still has some fills. We're just going to play through the verse now. I'm going to show you how to play the verse without any of the crazy left-hand stuff so you can try to sing it if you want to sing it. All right, let's play the verse. We've got a really weird rhythm. Well, first off, the verse is 9 measures long? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it already has a really odd feel. And then add to that, let's just strum the chords real quick. We've got A minor, 2, 3, switch to D minor. So it switches on the ending, but then it starts again on D minor. 1, 2, 3, switch back to A minor. So again, we've got, if I had a dollar bill, yes, I believe I surely will go to town, get my fill early in the... And then that part's weird because it's just 2 E minors where he does the tag of the line, right? Always early in the morning. Early in the morning, then to A minor. Really clever and off balance, right? And add to that the bass line. I don't know how to explain this here. We'll play through it. So we got A minor, picking the 5th, strumming down, up. Remember, we're only really strumming the top 3. So we've got 5th, down, up, 4th, down, up, 5th, down, up. So remember 3 A minors there, right? 5, 4, 5, D minor. And that D minor was 4th, down, up. But think of that D minor as the end of that first phrase, because then we start again on D minor and we pick the 4th string again. So don't let that trip you up, right? So we've got 5 on the A minor, 5, 4, 5, then 4 for the D minor, but then a new phrase starts, so we have 4 again on D minor, 4, 5, 4, and then A minor, 5. But then we start the next phrase on A minor, so we have to hit 5 again, 5, 4, 5, then the 6 for the E minor, 6. And then we start the next phrase with the E minor, but it's just 2 E minors, so it's 6, 4, then A minor, 5, 4, 5, 4. So the ending becomes even. It doesn't have that 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch. Then it's 1, 2 E minors, 4 A minors. So all lopsided, 9 measures in total. Confusing, but really cool. We'll play it one more time. A minor, and follow along with the chords. That's going to make it so much easier once you see it's 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 3 switch, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know that that's helpful, but just look at it. We'll play it again. A minor, 5, 4, down, 5. D minor, 4, 4, 5. 4 A minors, 5, 5, 4, 5. 6 to E minor. And repeat the 6, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. So just that weird rhythmic thing. Now the reason that happens is this little unrelated note, but kind of, it's good to know. Whenever you're playing, any sort of folk song or country song that uses that kind of pick strum idea, 90% 90% of the time, 95% of the time, if you're playing an A minor chord, well, you're going to pick the A note first, right? Rarely do you start, that's very off balance to play an E over an A minor. It happens for effect, but the vast majority of times, you're going to start with the A on the A minor. That's why when we went to D, we started on the 4th string because that's the note D. And then the 6th string for E minor because that's the note E. And this is weird, you start on the D early on, but you don't switch it because it's the last beat and you want to start the first beat on that D. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but it's really neat. All I'm trying to say is that it's neat. You got it. Let's run through the whole thing nice and slow from the top. 2, 3, 4. Simplified part. Let's talk about the process of singing through this. If you guys don't want to sing, then just jump ahead. I'm going to play the songs real quick at the end, or a real quick run through, a slower run through, so you can jump ahead. But if you do want to sing it, the process is first just strum the chords, right? If I had a dollar bill, yes, I believe I surely will go to town, drink my fill early in the morning. Make sure your count is right. I should have paid more attention. And then you can start doing the picking, or maybe just do the picking parts, right? If I had a dollar bill, yes, I believe I surely will go to town and drink my fill early in the morning. Maybe hold down the chord, that would make more sense. Whiskey be my dying bed, tell me where to lay my head. Not with me is all she said, early in the morning. Right, you can read the tab, follow along, and then you add it all together, right? If I had a dollar bill, yes, I believe I surely will go to town, drink my fill early in the morning. I don't know any other stanzas. Deal with it. Let's try the whole thing up to speed. I'm out of practice. We're going to try our best, though. Get my picking skills back up. 2, 3, 4. Again. And I keep botching it, but the hardest part is to sing it up to speed, even with the simplified version, right? 2, 3, 4. If I had a dollar bill, yes, I believe I surely will go to town, drink my fill early in the morning. Whiskey be my dying bed, tell me where to hang my head. Not with me is all she said, early in the morning. Yeah, but that's the idea. Work on it. We're gonna practice together. I can't even talk. Sorry guys, this is like a sleepy, tired Mike's music method. I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, and now it's 9 at night. But I was excited to do this song. Maybe I should have waited for another day. But why delay? Why delay things? We're working on it, because some days you're gonna be groggy and tired, and get through it. Power through it. That's all that I'm saying. Not every day do you feel perky and up for a challenge. But, you're going to do it anyways. We're doing it together. We're learning this song. Feel good about it. I feel good about it. You should feel good about it. Give me a hug. I just want a hug. This is great. We're having fun. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now, though. Later.